Okay, so we allow the root. So now when you submit, that error doesn't come again. You can see when anytime I click submit, if you look at my terminal, you see some notification like how do I okay, let me make it sound smaller. So if you watch my terminal, when I click submit, you see post is posting, but nothing is happening. Okay, it's actually posting, but nothing is happening because we've not said what should happen. We've not programmed it. It's just when you look at the survey form, it's just rendering the form. The form is there, but what happens when you submit it? Nothing has been written. So we are going to write that now. So what should happen when the person submits it? We should have like we did yesterday. So if we check if the form is valid, if form dot valid validate on submit. This form is validated on submit. These are what should then happen. Okay, there's something else we need to import. The session. Um, so we're going to import session from Flask 2 for this now. We haven't used URL4, but we'll use it shortly. So let's just import session. Okay, what is this session? Session is used to hold, you can use to hold some variable about the current session of the user. So assuming you're using this application, it's not some we could store some data in session. It's not in the database. It's temporal storage. Whenever the session ends, it will disappear. But because it's stored in the session, we can grab it across the session in another page. Okay, because we are going to transfer this whatever the person fills to another page. So this will be actually validate on submit, not validated. Form of validate on submit. Okay. If form dot which means if the form is valid, sorry, we will then we'll grab into the session for the name. We'll say let it be equal to form dot data dot name, which simply means there is a form element called name. We are picking the data of that element from the form. So form dot name dot data, not dot data dot name. Form dot name dot data. Sorry about that. So from the form, we go to the element name and then we'll pick the data. Data simply means the data the person entered. Okay. Now, because this is compulsory, there must be data. But for the other ones, there may not be data. So we are just basically grabbing the data into the session. So the next one is what? Saved. Form dot data, form dot saved dot data. The next one is form dot mood dot data, right? Mood dot data. The next one is form dot gender dot data. So we are basically grabbing the element from the form and saving it in a session variable called name, save, mode, and gender. There are many ways you can grab this data. You must not use session. Okay, but we're just using that to show us like grab it into the session and you see how we access it from the other page. Now, after we've grabbed all the data the user has put in, we will then we need one another thing from Flask called redirect. We are going to redirect the user to another page. So here we are going to now return, redirect URL for. So this is that URL for, and let's say thank you. So what is happening here? Let's look at it carefully. We have a, if we enter the function, we generate the form. This is an if statement. If the form is valid on submit, so anytime you submit, if the form is valid, all of this will happen. Okay. If the form is not valid on submit, then you are going to have the last return statement happen, which is this one. Of course, the first time you go to the link, the form will not be valid on submit when you visit it for the first time. So, like your Python will ignore your if statement and just generate the form and go to the template and put the form there and display it for the user. Then when the user clicks submit, which is post, when the post request is made, it will then check if it's valid on submit, and then um, it will do the needful. Okay, but if there's an error, we'll still talk about what happens if there's an error later. But yeah, okay. Now, if everything is correct, we are going to redirect to URL for. Is just like um, pointing it to a direction, go somewhere. The URL for, get the link for thank you. Now, thank you now has to be another function we should have. We've not written it, but I'll write it now. So I can have a thank you route, which they are going to go to after they have submitted the form slash thank you. Okay. And this one now, def. Now, let me stress something. The thank you we put in redirect URL for, in URL for, this thank you we are putting is actually the name of this function, not the not the um not the link, the function itself. So even if this place is called thank you and I just call the function thank or thanks, let me add an s. That's the name of the function that you're going to call in URL for. So what it's going to do is going to bring this root. This is how you use URL for. You put the name of the function, not the name of the root. So get me the URL for thanks. Now, why is it like this? It's simply because we can um we could actually hard code it and get, redirect to this place. But in future we may come and say, okay, let us not call this link thank you. Let's call it something else. That way we don't need to go ahead correcting the URL for, because the URL for we just go to the function and get the root. But if you had code the root now, you need to be changing the root everywhere. But this time you just call the function. So what will happen here? We are just going to, sorry, we are just going to return render template, and then we'll just thank you. Thanks dot h, or thank you whatever, or HTML. So we have a HTML page called thank you. We'll just render that template. So let us go to that our templates and add that one. So we add another template, thank you dot html. Okay, fine. Okay, this is thank you dot html, and we just have our normal html. So we write this page now. What it will do? So the title should be thank you. So now we could just put a h1 tag again, say thank you for filling the survey. Then let's just put a paragraph and say P, the details you entered are. So now we will just put an another list and say list item. Now we are going to grab the session name. That's so session those session variables are now what we are going to grab and display. So we had session name. I copy it. We have this one. What's the other one? Saved. We have another one. Mood. We have another one. We have another after mood. Which other one do we have? Let's go check. After
Gender.
gender, okay, and feedback, right? We have gender and we have feedback. Okay. So go to thank you. Do we hold on, let me check. Do we capture feedback in our root? Yeah, we didn't capture feedback. So let's capture feedback. Okay, great. So we have feedback two. We'll go to here, this place. We have gender. Let's copy it again. And we will now have feedback. Okay, but let me just add some text before I speak this variable. So I can say name, saved, mood, gender, and feedback. If I don't put this, you only be seeing what the user enter. But now this one will just tell you name and then you see the username. So with this now, we can display what the user has entered. So let's test our code and see how it looks. Okay, so we save thank you page. And then let's go to the index. Remember I said that we need to put a link here. Because if you go to the home page, let me go there. When you come to the home page, you find out that, okay, this is not the home page. This is survey. So this survey, there's a here, but nothing is happening. So this is because we put hash. So now we're going to use URL for to help us there. URL underscore for. So we are going to URL for survey. So let's save it and let's see. Okay, refresh the page. Okay, I think I should put it in the, yeah, in the bracket. Save it and go back, refresh, go back, sorry, go back, refresh, and it's working now. So you use the URL for also in the Ginger brackets. That's what I forgot to do, so it didn't work the other time. So now I've put the link using URL for to transfer this here. So whenever you click here, it takes you to the survey link. So you now see we are connecting the links together now that way. Before we'll just go and type the link directly. Come here. Okay, let's move a little bit faster here now and take our survey. Let me save the index page. Survey is saved and save this. This needs to be saved. Okay, good. So when we go back, let's go take the survey and see what happens. So name is Jude. Are you saved? I tick it. He said this, let's just leave it as happy. And then let's say it's a man. Okay, thank you for this survey. I am blessed. How's his feedback? So let's submit it. Now that I have submitted it, you can then see the results. Okay. Thank you for filling the survey. The details you entered are let me go back.
I'm not hearing you. This from my end.
Okay, was anyone hearing me?
Now I can hear.
Okay, okay. All right. I hope good news is better now. Let me keep my mic very close to my
Yes,
mouth.
yes, it's better now.
Yeah, so now you see how we designed this page. We say name and put the person's name. Now look at it, see the name that he entered is here, Jude. True. Now this is what is happening. That button, if I go back, this button, because he clicked on it, is true. If you don't click on it, you will then see false. False. So it's just a button. You either tick it or you don't tick it. You see the mood. Now instead of it to show happy, it is showing mood 1. And instead of it to show gender, it is showing M. Now that brings us to go back to the app and look at our class. Now this is what you see. Choices, you have mood 1 and happy. The happy is what the user will see. But at the back end, when he chooses happy, this is what will represent happy for you in the back end. Okay? If for the engineer, it will be mood 1, mood 2, or mood 3. But the user will be seeing happy. The same thing with male. The user will see male, but in your code, male now is represented by M, female is represented by F. So if I really want to do further analysis with this, I'll be checking if the user put mode 1 instead of me to check on happy. Happy is just for the display, but the real thing here is mode 1. I could still change mode 1 and just put happy if you want. But I'm just doing this so you see how this tuple works. Okay. And what else is there? You can then see the feedback given. Now all of this, how did it come to thank you page? It is because of the session. Session performed the magic for us. Because we saved it into the session, we can then grab it anywhere we are. Even in another page, we can grab it because it's within this session, except the session ends. It is saved somehow like a cookie. Somehow just saved in the session. Okay, and then that's how we are able to grab it in thank you. We just grab the session data. So it is a little bit different from how you would pass a variable to the render template. like form. We did not pass it in session, we just pass it directly. It's now something else new. Now, the last thing I want to do for us is to show us Flash. Okay, so there's something else called Flash. So let's just import, yeah, Flash. So, and then just write a quick root for Flash. So yeah, I'll just say Flash. No, let's say click me, that what I'll call it. Then I'll just call this one click me. And then we'll just return this template. Um, click dot html. And I want to have a form here, form equal to form, click form, and do this, and I'll pass that form to this. Okay. Now I've not yet designed this click me class, so let me just go and add it. So you can have another class. So every form is going to have its own click me, right? And it's also inherit from Flask Form. Okay, and all I just need here is
Your voice has gone dim again.
oh, this is going to be in my mouth now. Okay, so all we are going to have now is a button. This is just going to be a simple button. And we just have a submit field. And we just call it click me. So that's all. You could have anything, but I just want to use it to show you the Flash, how Flash works. Okay. So now, okay, it's click form I wrote here. And then what did I write here? I need to make this form. Okay, so click form, render template, return. Why is it having error there? Something was not closed. Okay, there's comma missing here. Okay, fine. Now what will happen if they submit this form? Let me quickly do it. So if form dot validate on submit, okay, what will happen? I can say Flash. You clicked me. Thank you for doing this. That's all. I just want to show the Flash. And mind you, Flash, we could even put Flash here if we want. We could just put a Flash anywhere in any of them. But I'm just doing this to show you. In subsequent video, you see how we'll use it more, but I'm just showing you how this works. So now when you have this Flash message in your um, app like this, we are going to go to clickme.html and receive this page. Let me just do that. Receive this Flash message. So I'm going to create a file here called click.html. I'm that file, and then just populate it, and title should just be click me, and we should just return a form. a form, and the method should be post, and we'll just have the hidden tag, form dot hidden tag,
Hello, I'm not hearing you.
form dot hidden tag. Hello. So,
Yes, we can barely hear you, though we are seeing the mouse moving.
oh, sorry, but can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Don't know how to keep this thing to remain there. Okay. So if you don't hear me, just quickly give a shout so that maybe I'll adjust this mic. I think maybe it's a bit faulty. So this is normal hidden tag. So what we just have is our submit button. So we have form dot submit. So when you submit it, right? No, then it should show the flash message. That's basically what's going to happen. Now to display this flash message, we now need to put something else here, and we'll display it this way. We would have, okay, and then for message in get underscore flashed underscore message. So this is the way we are going to capture it. For message in flash underscore message, then we'll now have end for normal end for. But how we will display the message? No, let's display it first. For message in message, let's just display message and see how it looks. Okay, so whenever there's a flash message, we should trap it and display the message. Let's save it and explore the link. Okay, have I saved this place? Save. Then quickly go to the app, and instead of thank you now, just go and visit click me. So there's a button there that says click me. When I click it, method not allowed. We forgot to put the method the same thing as before. So let's put method because we are posting the form. So save it, go back there, refresh it. Okay. So you see click me, or is it you click me, thank you for doing this. The message is showing. Well, now how we use this message, I'll use Bootstrap now to show us how we use it. It's more of an alert. Okay, that's what we use Flash for. So let's go to Bootstrap quickly. Go to Bootstrap. In Bootstrap, we have alert. Alert. So in alert, you could see different type of alert. We have a simple alert. This now any of this alert I want, I'm going to grab the code. So let me grab this one. For instance, this is just going to look like this. Check it out. Let me just take it from here, one of them, bring it to my code. Go to thank you. No, click me. Let me put it here. Okay, so I have this. Instead of um having this a simple alert, check it out, I will then put my message there. So it will show my message. But this wouldn't work because my code is not connected to Bootstrap. So yeah, forgot to do that. What you do is you come to the introduction and you need to bring in these links. This one for the CSS, copy it, come to my code, put it here in the head. No, this head is not supposed to be there. Okay, fine. Then I need the JavaScript um for Bootstrap. Go back. Then I'll take the JavaScript link. Yeah. And then we'll put it at the end. So this way our HTML can go and pick from Bootstrap these classes, this alert, and then alert primary is a booster class for this alert. So if you go and look closely at the Bootstrap here, oh no, go forward, go forward. You see there are different types of alerts, different color. Okay, let me also just wrap everything in a div here. Yeah, in a div here, this class container. Let me put everything in that div. Okay, so if I go back here, I was trying to explain something. For this primary now, you see the code, or let me just use this to you're seeing this is warning and this is an info alert. So if you look at it here, this is it. Look at the class. We have alert, alert dark. Okay, this is the last one. We have light. Let's just look at the one for warning. You will see there's warning there, which is this. Look at the one for danger. Almost everything is the same, but you have a class of alert. You have another class of alert dash. It's either is danger, it's either a success, it's either a secondary, it's primary. Those determine the color you're going to see. So the one we copied is the primary one. So let's go back to our code quickly. This is it. So let's save it and see what happens to our code. Go back. Okay. It's supposed to be here. So you could see now it came with this blue banner on top for click me. Now the reason why everything shifts to the center is also because I put this bootstrap this div here with class container, right? This container also is a bootstrap class that arranges things the way it is now. See, it's in a container that is centered, and then you just see this alert. You click me. Thank you for doing this. Now, the alert can be either primary. So if I change this from primary, if I change it to success, the category. So if I save it now, go back and click again, see it becomes green. Okay, that's how we follow these bootstrap and colors. So if I need warning or danger, I go and check it. There's warning now, there's danger, so we can go change here to danger and save. Go back, click again, it becomes danger. Now, when we keep building our application, you appreciate this better. Then lastly, there's another flash message I want us to see from Bootstrap, which in fact that's the one we should be using. Let's go to dismiss. Our time is going 4 more minutes, but we'll try to be fast. So dismissing alert now, this one that has an X where you can close it. If you want to see something like this is the code from Bootstrap. I can copy it and come back to my this thing. instead instead of using the one we use, I can have this. And then if I'm using this one, this is where I'm going to put my message like this. Let me see. So this is it. Then I save it. So right now we have the two of them, okay? So you should see two alerts. If I click it, you should see two alerts. So you see this. For the second one that is dismissing, then I'll click this X. I need to go and remove this text. I didn't pay attention to that. So you can dismiss this one. But this one you can't dismiss it. So there are just like two types of way of flashing the message to the user. So let's go back and just do something. Okay. This is strong. That's why it's showing bold. Then this, I can remove this. Maybe I don't want it to be strong too. Just remove this and remove it. So we'll stop here for today. Save, go back. If I click, we're just trying to show these types of flash messages. Okay, you can close this one, but this one you can't close it. It will always be there until you go to another page. That's how you display that flash messages. Okay, we will be stopping here, and then the other thing we'll do maybe in our next class is we will see how to properly manage these flash messages. Just because of time, I'm stopping here. We can also program it such that maybe it will have a category, and instead of you coming to change danger to this, the category will be submitted with the flash message. So let me see if we can just quickly even just do that category. Okay. So when you want to use it with category, when you have the flash message here, you then have a second parameter. Maybe I might say success. This is the category. I've added the category. Then how do I catch it here? I'll modify the code slightly using a width block. So I'm going to have if I save this, then here we are going to put, we will now use it this way. You know what, the time is going to finish, so let's just say we'll do it next class. Okay, any question? Any question?
Yes, so more question. I found out that
Okay,
when I use my PyCharm,
yeah.
just to follow step by step the way you are doing at the beginning, it's giving me some error messages.
What are the error messages?
Okay, can I share?
Yes, but let me stop recording and then we'll see what your screen has. I'll give you control.
I just stop halfway just to watch what is happening.